Hey there, it's Erin with Time Saving Templates, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over another Excel spreadsheet tip that has to do with working with addresses and locations in Excel. So if you've been following along, we have quite a few videos now all about how to do different things in Excel that are related to addresses, and then we also have some more HR and compensation specific examples that can help you be more efficient when you are working with different things in Excel related to locations. So let me open up the file we have. So this is the example we were using last time. We have a big list of addresses, zip codes, and also the compensation zone, which is this example, we have 3 different zones, so that means there are 3 different salary ranges based on the location within the US. And in this example, I just am going to show a tip on how you can use the filter formula to filter out either the names or addresses of who is in tier A, who's in tier B, and who's in tier C. So this is just another way that you can group categories of really any type of data that you're working with in Excel. You can use this formula to kind of summarize and list things out without having to manually do different filters and sorting and that kind of thing. So basically we have these 3 tiers and we have different comp zones. So Georgia and Texas we have in tier A, and then we have the Bay Area in New York City in tier C, and then everyone else in California and New York is in tier B if they're not in the specific locations near the Bay Area, San Francisco, or New York City. Okay. So that was all covered in a previous video, which I can link to. It'll be on that page with all the address tips. So for this one, I've entered some random employee names. So we're going to do equals filter. And I'm first going to select what it is I want to filter or list. So the first time I chose the address, this time I'm going to go with the name. And so we select the name, and I'm going to do a function in F4 key at the same time. That's going to lock in only the cells that I chose. And then I'm going to do a comma, and this is going to tell us which names do we want to include. And so I'm going to highlight the tier, everything in column Q here that has the tier. And I'm going to do another function, F4. Okay, I didn't have it quite in the middle, so I want both of those with the dollar signs. And then I'm going to do equal, and I can either type out equals tier A, or I can select the cell up here, but same with the others, we need to add the function F4, add those dollar signs so that it will continue to reference that. And then I'm going to close parenthesis, and then there we go. We have a list of everybody that is in tier A. And then from there, I want to populate the other tiers. Let me see so you'll see that filter is just in that first cell of the formula, and it kind of spills down. So you need to make sure that you don't have anything, like if I had something written in this cell here, it's probably going to get me an error, the spill error, because of that. But if I uncheck it, it works. So it needs to have the blank cells to do this. Now when I switched it over to tier B, it's still referencing tier A right here since I had the dollar signs there. Let me update that T5 to a U5. And I guess I don't need the dollar sign if I want it to. Let me just see what happens if I remove that dollar sign and then drag it to tier C. Okay, there we go. So we don't need the dollar sign if we want it to reference the things at the top. So that's how I could quickly show who is in which tier with a formula. And the nice thing about using a formula instead of like a pivot table or something else, we don't have to refresh it. If something changes and say that, let's see, it's pulling it in order. So if John were to change to a different name, it just automatically updates here, and it will only reference to row 46 because I have row 46. So if you had more data that you were wanting to add, you could update that to a 50. Now I'm getting a value because this goes to 50 and this one does not. So if I update that, now not much changed, but it is going to reference to row 50 if I were to add somebody. Now we didn't add the tiers to the national or to the international companies, but if we added new hire, say you had a new hire and we added them to tier B, it has to be matching exactly. And then now if I have the formula include to row 50, it's picking up a new hire when that gets added in. So that is a quick and easy way to summarize your information in more of a visual way. You could do this with anything that you're trying to filter out with different criteria, and then it's dynamic, so you can change the headers here and it should update. So yeah, we could try this with name, and then if we wanted it to show, maybe list all the addresses within each tier, we could also do that. So instead of referencing column J, we could change the J's to H, and that's where the address is at. But we would keep Q the same because we still want it to pull based on what tier. And then we could do the same thing for each tier. So that would give us an idea of which addresses fall in each tier. If you wanted to do that instead of the names, you could do this with anything. So let me know I'm just curious what other use cases you have for organizing your data this way. I'd love to know. Feel free to post a comment or how you use this formula to do something in Excel. That would be very interesting. So I hope this helps. And let's see, we have HR related templates. This has just been a sample file that I've been using, but I will be looking at ways to incorporate some of these into some of our templates. But you can find our HR templates here at timesavingtemplates.com, and we have the shop button, which has our different sections: HR, property management, and also some small business and other types of things. So you can go there. And then we also have the free resources page where you can download a free template or a free cheat sheet. We have the compensation metrics cheat sheet. That's at timesavingtemplates.com/free resources, as well as a free guide to get you started with Excel. Until next time, don't forget, I'm here to help you streamline and save time when it comes to using your Excel spreadsheets. Thanks.